Hey, this is Deleting Virus here with a new Wurm Wednesday update, and I'm here with Tedrick, who is the new leader of what is now known as Albion, used to be known as Ashuria. And I was wondering if you can go ahead and just fill us in on exactly what's happening with all the changes that are going on here.
Sure, I could do that. Number one, is the change of the name. Obviously, went from Ashuria to Albion, so the name had to change so that people could recognize that we're doing an entirely different way of running a village now. It was that before with Basher, it was very much an autocratic way of looking at things. He said stuff, and we did it, and that was exactly how it was, and nobody was allowed to question that. And with the way we have it now, it's more of a republic type setup where I'm in power just because people believe I have the capability, and that's the main difference. Rather than it being like a cult of personality surrounding one person, it's one person being in power because people believe that guy um, has their best interest in mind. Which kind of got into the if you guys remember before, it kind of was difficult in Ashuria.
There's a change in leadership. Are you able to elaborate on all that?
Yeah, the leadership style now is obviously I'm the leader, and some say king or lord or whatever, but I don't really like those titles. I mean, placed on me. It's more of just I happen to be in charge of stuff that goes on day to day, and people say, "Hey, I want to do this," and I say that's a good idea, or I say, "Hey, have you considered this?" So it's really a different way of leadership. I mean, obviously in a game, especially an online game, you have to use persuasion more than you could say do this or don't do that. So there is still a council of people that are the core, and those people have more and more advice to me than everybody else. But everybody has a say in things now.
Also, with the change in leadership, there's been a change in the Teamspeak and Forums. I know I'll be putting links in the below, but can you just give us a quick thing on that and the
Yeah, the
reasons
team.
behind that?
Oh, sure. The TeamSpeak on the in the Basher verse, they deleted all our channels. We couldn't get any of the rights, so we needed a new TeamSpeak. So fortunately, we had village members who knew that enough, who just went out and got that like immediately. And that was one of the things I was shocked about coming into this village as a leader. Is just how fast that the community stuck together and said, "Hey, we need a TeamSpeak." They got one. We had it up within an hour. It was up, and we were in it. We were making our symbols. We were signing our ranks. It was quick. With the forums, same thing. They went in and got a forums program. We got an actual forums on our own website now, and we can communicate across those now. So we have both of those things. That was provided by. I didn't say anything. I didn't ask for anything. It just happened. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, and then let's see here. How can people join up with Albion?
All right. So the process for joining Albion is a lot like it was through the Bashiverse, except we're not going to do the whole formal application thing. There's going to be a point on the forums where you say, "Hey, I'd like to join. This is what I say. This is what I am," and then you can get online and message any one of us in the actual village who's online. And usually there's several of us, and then we can meet up with you, bring you here, recruit you at Glittershore, the first city you'll come to whenever you come to the server here on Desertion, and get you into the village and show you around and show you what we're doing here. Another thing I want to put into this is when you come to the city, it's there's a whole bunch of public area where you can go and you can do a different trade. We're also offering properties, and that's one of the big differences that we have between us and the way Ashuria's was run. I'm trying to get everybody involved and get them to buy into what we're doing here.
Ah, nice. Also, I know there's griefers in the area. Are you able to go ahead and fill the people in on exactly what's been going on with the current situation for Albion?
Yes, we had an incident just last night, and if you can look around here, just pan around here, we did have to force us to close in our farms, and we basically walled all of it off because people were coming here and digging it up and dropping dirt on it and destroying it. So we walled it all in so that only villagers could get in and be in here. So now we're building. This is the large north farm, and then we're building two smaller farms north of here with village only access. So that'll cut off the griefing capability that anybody from any other kingdom. Of course, when it's get to alt griefers, you can't really know who did it, but we have a pretty good idea who did it.
Yeah, and the thing is there's with the last video I put out, there's questions about what's happened with the current politics and all that. And I was wondering if you can just give us a brief overview what happened with Basher and what happened with what's sort of being dubbed as the Great Divide with people that end up leaving Ashuria at the time, which is now known as Albion.
Right. Well, what happened? It was kind of like, and I watched this happen from a somewhat high position. I didn't come over with the Basherverse crew, but I watched it happen as an elected leader in Ashuria. And basically, what happened is that Basher was choosing to play the game as though it was Dwarf Fortress, where he would just come in and double click on people's heads and tell them they were doing a bad job, doing a bad job, doing a bad job, and you guys are messing this all up. Why? And his method of leadership was pedantic enough that he drove the veterans, I mean just a half of them, off. He just drove them off completely. They left the village, they formed another deed, they went to another kingdom, they disappeared. So that was the Great Divide, and I watched it happen, and I saw it was quite it was quite painful to see. So judging from what he did and what I know to be a better way of doing it is the way we're trying to go forward with Albion, changing things.
Well, thank you very much about that information, and look forward to another Wurm Wednesday next week. I'll be covering the progress of what Albion's been doing so far. I'll put in links and information for how to get to the Teamspeak and the forums within the description of this video. And thank you, Tedrick, for filling us in on
Hey,
what
sure thing.
exactly happened.